This is going to kickstart my new series, Everything About. Here we're just going to detail literally everything about a certain video game, whether it be a Sonic game, a Smash Bros. Game, a Plants vs. Zombies game. But here, I'd like to start off with a game that's somehow been dead for some time. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. With the new Rocksteady DLC coming out soon, hopefully. This is the latest one. Let's get started with everything about. Let me do my best. Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2! For once, it wasn't that cringe. Also, errors note, this may not be everything, so if there is something I missed, let me know in the comments below. Gameplay is fairly standard in terms of platform fighting. You can walk around, run around, jump, dodge, shield, grab, and of course throw, attacks, because of course, the strong attacks, and specials. But, you notice that little meter down at the bottom? The green glowing one? Yeah, well, guess what? Oh, wait, 1 second. Yeah, if you fill it all the way up, then it's a slime meter. The slime meter works like this. Normally, SpongeBob's neutral special is a bubble, right? But what about the slime special? 3 big bubbles. It's not just the specials that get enhanced, though. Your strong attacks get enhanced too, giving them bigger launching power. But you can also chain attacks, like this. That is called a slime cancel. It's a bit trickier to pull off. You see, you gotta attack, then immediately press the slime button to chain attacks. Or you can use this for extra recovery. I don't know. But the final thing you can use the slime meter for is, of course, your super attack, or special move. It's a special move either way. It's always a cinematic, and it's pretty cheeky, but it deals major damage. I want to use this a lot, though. Given this game's sorta unpolished state, the thing can bug out at times. So, with that out of the way, why don't we move on to the characters, shall we? The game roster is exactly the same as the previous one. Well, the base roster at least. 25 characters. The previous game had 20 characters at launch. An extra 2 characters were added as free DLC, and an extra 3 were added as paid DLC. A grand total of 25 characters. The base roster for this game is the same as the exact same other one, the regular game, with DLC. 25 characters. Which means, yes, rough cuts had to be made. These rough cuts include 11 characters that were unfortunately cut. Cat Dog from Cat Dog, Toph Beifong from Avatar The Last Airbender, Helga from Hey Arnold, Hugh Neutron from Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, Leonardo, Michelangelo, and the Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Lincoln Loud from The Loud House, Oblina from Real Monsters, Powder Toast Man from The Ren and Stimpy Show, and Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob SquarePants. However, of course, not everybody is cut. We have SpongeBob SquarePants and Patrick Star from SpongeBob SquarePants, Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life, Lucy Loud from The Loud House, Garfield from Garfield, Aang from Avatar The Last Airbender, Korra from Avatar The Legend of Korra, April O'Neil from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Danny Phantom from, well, Danny Phantom, that should be obvious, I think, Nigel Thornberry from The Wild Thornberries, Zim from Invader Zim, Jenny Wakeman from My Life as a Teenage Robot, Reptar from Rugrats, and Ren and Stimpy from the Ren and Stimpy Show. Of course, we have new characters. Things like Squidward Tentacles and Sheldon J. Plankton, now this time being Mecha Plankton, from SpongeBob SquarePants, El Tigre from El Tigre, The Adventures of Manny Rivera, Jimmy Neutron from Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, Angry Beavers from Angry Beavers, Daggett and Norbert, you know, Azula from Avatar The Last Airbender, Raphael and Donatello from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Ember McLean from Danny Phantom, Grandma Gertie and Gerald from Hey Arnold, and DLC characters. Mr. Krabs, Zuko, Rocksteady, and Iroh. I would show them now, but they're not available. If they are, yeah. Anyways, each character is pretty unique, though some of them do share similar traits. Some of them. So, you know what? Why don't we move on to the stages? Like any good platform fighter, this game has unique stages that are all just more than just flat backgrounds. We have cut ones, of course, and we have returning ones, as well as new ones. The cut ones being, as with characters, we also have returning ones. Jellyfish Fields and the Flying Dutchman ship from SpongeBob SquarePants, Harmonic Converge and Western Air Temple from The Legend of Korra and The Last Airbender, respectively. Urkin Armada Invasion, albeit slightly altered from Invader Zim, Sewer Slam, Rooftop Rumble, and Technodrome Takedown, also being slightly altered from TMNT 1987, Hardcore Chores from Rocko's Modern Life, Food Dream from Garfield, Messy Kitchen from The Ren and Stimpy Show, Royalwood Cemetery from The Loud House, and Tremor and Joyride from My Life as a Teenage Robot. New stages include the Chum Bucket from SpongeBob SquarePants and the Bun Wrestling Ring, with Mr. Krabs in the background, the Fire Masters meeting from Avatar The Last Airbender, Jimmy's Lab from The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. I don't know why I didn't say that first. Wild Savannah from the Wild Thornberries, Loud Castle from the Loud House, Miracle City Volcano from El Tigre, The Adventures of Eddie Rivera, Angry Beaver's Dam from the Angry Beavers, Pariah's Keep and Clockwork Slayer from Danny Phantom, Reptar Ruins from Rugrats, City Aquarium from Hey Arnold, and a new training stage. Each stage, well, not each stage, most stages also have different forms. Some of these being 3 platforms, 2 platforms, 1 moving platform, and just that Omega form stage from Smash Bros. And there's also competitive forms as well, for you competitive players. Oh look, there's the original Urkin Armada Invasion. We can all praise. But anyways, Jellyfish Fields, Harmonic Converge, Urkin Armada Invasion, Technodrome Takedown, Food Dream, Jimmy's Lab, Miracle City Volcano, and the training stages all have 3 platforms, 2 platforms, 1 moving platform, and Omega stages. But when Omega stages are turned on, Bryce Keep and Clockwork Slayer are added on as well. And then there's just the competitive stuff. Why don't we move on to the game's biggest part? Shall we? This is a campaign mode. This is literally the game's biggest feature. Aside from the platform fighting, of course. This is the story mode, so yeah. But here's how it works. The plot goes a little something like this. Hang on, let me just scooch over here. Yeah, kinda longer, ain't it? Anyways, Vlad Plasmius from Danny Phantom over here is trying to take over the world as per usual. This time, using mind control devices to mind control everybody here. So you, as SpongeBob so far, have to put a stop to this. How do you do so? Well, let me just scooch over here. Why did I pick Mr. Krabs? I'm sorry for the awkward pause. Here. This is where you start a campaign run. At first, it's just one solid run, but after that first run, this is where we start. You'll start out by fighting a bunch of minions. Let me just combo them for 1 second. If they would let me. I'll talk about the other features later. Hang on 1 second. Okay, this is getting too cringe. After that arguably long minion stage, this is your usual campaign. It stretches out until you reach a boss. The bosses can vary. In this wilderness stage, you'll either fight King Jellyfish or the Flying Dutchman from SpongeBob SquarePants. In the next Metropolis stage, you'll either fight the Shredder from TMNT or Sartana de los Muertos from El Tigre, The Adventures of Manny Rivera. Then the final one, Outer Space, it's depending on whether or not you beat the story. The first three runs you complete, you'll beat up Vlad, but after that, the final one is, spoiler alert, Clock. Both of them from Danny Phantom. Otherwise, once you beat it, it's gonna shuffle between Vlad and Clockwork, just like it shuffles between the others. If you pull up this info tab, it'll tell you which one's which, depending on the symbols below. A ton of heads means an arena, where you'll fight off a bunch of enemies. The little versus symbol is where you'll fight fighters. A little Atari joystick is where you'll play minigames. The little stickman platforming is where you'll do some platforming segments. The little fist and also the up arrow are the power-ups you can get from several NPCs, such as Gurr from Invader Zim or Hugh Neutron from Jimmy Neutron. A shopping cart is where you'll shop by spending the blimps you gathered in the arenas, with either Powder Toastman from the Ren and Stimpy Show or the Cabbage Merchant from Avatar The Last Airbender. A little green heart and the plus symbol is healing, where you'll rest up with the fountain thing. And a star on a single platform is a rest area, where you'll get either a pack of slimies or splats. Yeah, that's basically everything there's a campaign. If you couldn't tell already, this is a roguelike. And we'll go over the power-ups now. Stopping by with either Gurr from Invader Zim, the little guy right here, Mrs. Puff from SpongeBob SquarePants, Frida Suarez from El Tigre, The Adventures of Manny Rivera, Hugh Neutron from Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, Powder Toastman from Ren and Stimpy Show, and the Cabbage Merchant from Avatar The Last Airbender will net you some powers. Powder Toastman and Cabbage Merchant need blimps, but these guys give it out for free. Yeah. You get 3 power-ups. Depending on what you have, you can either re-roll said power-ups, pick a power-up, that's the obvious one, or skip it entirely. If you skip it, you'll get 25 blimps. Specifically here, I'm just going for the Urkin missile launcher, because what else am I supposed to do? Let's go over all the power-ups, shall we? First we have a lovely cabbage, where it just heals you. That's it. Then we have extra air dodges, or airbending, as some of you may call it. Avatar State buffs your damage while you have a buff inflicted. Beaver Fever increases the damage of your light attacks. This Blimps coupon gives you extra blimps, for now at least. Cabbage Cookies have the same effect as a regular cabbage, healing you. And so does Cabbage Soup. Why are these two saying they're just cabbages? Chi Enhancing Tea has your buffs last longer. Cluster Bombing Run has you create a bomb every time you air dodge. Well, there's a chance of it happening, but still. The Crown of Fire and Ring and Rage are part of several of these power-ups where you can just get them together and they'll finally work. The Crown of Fire buffs your damage, and the Ring of Rage makes it so that your attacks go straight through armor. You need both of them for them to work anyways. Dino Power gives you buffs for every charge attack, a chance of them at least. Earthbending makes it so that whenever you hit a fully charged charge attack, it creates a sort of area of effect damage that outbursts everywhere. Explosive Shuriken makes your projectiles do more damage. Firebending makes your air attacks have a chance of dealing fire damage. Garbage Day has all your attacks deal damage to all enemies inflicted by a debuff, no matter where they are. Ghostly Phasing gives your air attacks the ability to give you intangibility for a couple seconds. Gur's Suck Monkey gives you Super Slime whenever you start a match. Gur's Taco gives you an extra stock, for now. Gloomy Poetry makes the debuffs you inflict last longer. Grandpa Lou's Wrestling makes your charge attacks deal stunned. Hypercorrosive Croutons works in a similar way to Explosive Shuriken. Oh yeah, I also forgot that Explosive Shuriken doesn't make your projectiles deal more damage. That's Hypercorrosive Croutons. Explosive Shuriken actually makes them explode on impact, dealing more damage. Erkin Missile Launcher has all projectiles you shoot fire and home in on the enemy. Erkin Pack makes fully charged attacks heal you. Jimmy's Jetpack gives you extra air dodges. I'm sorry, why do I keep loading this up? Because whenever I was talking about airbending, I mentioned that they give you more air dodges. Well, it actually increases how far your air dodges carry you, so I'm sorry. Karate Gear makes your charge attacks do more damage. The secret formula, Krabby Patty ingredients, and the perfect Krabby Patty all work similarly to the Crown of Fire and the Ring of Rage. The secret formula and Krabby Patty ingredients do nothing because they need the perfect Krabby Patty to work, which the perfect Krabby Patty makes all your attacks deal extra damage. If you have the ingredients and the secret formula, which we still don't know. Frick you, Nick. Why? Monster Brawl makes your throws work like this. Whenever an enemy lands after being thrown, they explode. Really big man's bigness, okay, why does that sound so sus all of a sudden, makes you start all matches with supersize. Running a type ship here, I'm sorry, I tried to do my best Eugene H. Krabs voice, but I couldn't. Anyways, it makes it so that all items in the shops are more expensive, but you level up a random power up each time you enter them. So that's good. Also, I forgot to mention this, but the perfect Krabby Patty, once it's paired with the ingredients in the formula, didn't just increase your damage. It also ignores all debuffs. So thank God, I guess. Shinobi Mastery makes your special attacks do more damage, as well as having a random chance of inflicting a debuff. Slime's Coupon and Slime's Mega Coupon work similarly. This one gives you more cash, and this one gives you even more cash in Slimes. Song of Sortana makes it so that you start a match with either a random buff or debuff. Similar to the Slime Coupons, Splat Coupons also give you splats, with the Mega Coupon giving you more splats. Squidward Sonata is the opposite of Dino Power, being that instead of giving you a buff, it gives your opponents debuffs. Vexus Beam makes it so that while you start with a random debuff, all attacks deal more damage. Wacko Sale is literally just how it sounds. A sale on all items in the shops. Waterbending makes your projectiles have a chance of inflicting freeze on opponents. XJ2's Hiccups have you fire a seeking projectile every few seconds. And finally, XJ8's Weapon Systems has you fire a barrage of projectiles every few seconds. Those aren't the only power-ups, though. You can also get perks over here. From Norm Wakeman from My Life as a Teenage Robot. These are all the perks you can get. If you max out the shop, that is. We'll get to that later, don't you worry. But here are all the perks you can get. Ignorance is Bliss, where you can start all runs with more lives than just one. Hydrodynamic Design, where you can move faster. Ninjutsu Skills, where you can gain extra air jumps. Vortex Martial Arts, where your charge attacks fully charge a bit faster. Lasagna Dinner, where you can heal damage every time you enter a stage. Expedition Funds, where you can start runs with blimps. Investigative Journalism, where power-ups that you find at places such as Gur or Miss Puff have a 60... I don't know why I said that. Have a chance of being epic. Sorry. Yes, I know I'm messing up a lot. It sounds cringe, but I'm recording this. I'm unscripted, so I'm just winging it as we go. Alright? Sound cool? Alright. Anyways, Ectoplasmic Energy, where your slime meter fills up faster. An Urkin Shield Generator, where you can start each match with a protection shield that absorbs a certain amount of damage. A Dinosaur Durability, whenever you inflict a debuff, you can heal damage. A Lucky Draw, where you can gain extra power rerolls, the thing I mentioned earlier. Wait, those look like Dragon Balls. Hypercubic Space, where KO'd enemies have a chance to spawn a random item. Fortune Telling, where power-ups have a chance to be legendary. It's the same as investigative journalism, but instead of epic, it's legendary. And thus, it's a smaller chance. Anger Management, where you heal every time you KO an enemy. Devious Instinct, which is whenever you inflict a debuff, you can also deal an extra 10 damage. Or something like that. Extra damage. Spread the Chaos, where game buffs and inflict debuffs last longer. Rocket Science, whenever you found an explosive projectile every 12 seconds. I'm sorry. Rocket Science, where you fire an explosive projectile every several seconds. And I'm sorry, I like that song. Whenever you lose a stock, you gain super slime for several seconds. Unlike power-ups, perks are permanent. You can equip several of them at a time, but the max is 6. An entire row of them, if you will. Anyways, so, with that out of the way, why don't we move on to the rest of the time of Stardial? And we change characters to Zuko, so now we can explore the time of Stardial even more. This is your hub world where you can access campaign runs, buy things, and train more. Let's go with the shop, shall we? We already went over Nora Wakeman from My Life as a Teenage Robot. She just gives you perks that you can get. You can upgrade her shop with splats and buy stuff from her with slides. Then we have Master Splinter from TMNT, where you can essentially go to training. Then Gary over here from SpongeBob SquarePants, where you can just get decorations for Time to Start Out, which is actually needed for achievement, comes to think of it. For Time Booths, where you can change characters and costumes and whatnot. Gas Membrane from Invader Zim, where you can buy splats for slimes. 25 for 20, 70 for 50, and 160 for 110. There's the portal where you can start campaign runs, with the fountain, of course. This Ghost Zone portal where you can change the difficulty from Tiny but Mighty to Texas Tough to Masterclass to How Tough Are You to Mad and Strength to Prepare for Doom, the hardest difficulty. Which of course I've turned on and I'm actually not bad at. And over here, once you beat the game, you can just talk to Vlad over here. I don't know, I won't be wasting my time with him. But since we already went over Nora Wakeman, might as well go over Gary's customization options while we're at it. We have Office Free Day from The Last Airbender, Sewer Hideout from TMNT, Space Trash from Rocko's Modern Life. You can tell because A, at the end of Rocko's Modern Life, they hit his face, and B, it has the real world sign from the intro. Graveyard Shift from The Loud House. It just, listen, the Royalwood Cemetery stage is in this game, and there's a graveyard shifting, and it looks similar. Jimmy's Popcorn Machine, I mean, if it didn't say Jimmy's Popcorn Machine, instead it just said Popcorn Machine, I wouldn't tell this would be a Jimmy Neutron reference. Nightmare Statues from Ren and Stimpy. Food Dream from Garfield. I mean, there's even little Garfield cookies. Hillwood's Aquarium from Hey Arnold, because this is an aquarium stage. Sarcophagus of Eternal Sleep from Danny Phantom, because, well, Pariah's Keep is the Danny Phantom stage, so what? And then we have several fountains. Jellyfish Fields Fountain from SpongeBob, Cinco de Mayo Fountain from El Tigre, Wild Nature Fountain from the Wild Thornberries, Colonel Mutagen Fountain from TMNT, Gothic Style Fountain from Loud House, Winter Fountain from The Last Airbender, Urkin Tech Fountain from Invader Zim, Beaver's Dam Fountain from Angry Beavers, hey, was that alcohol? And a Slime Fountain from Nickelodeon, because this is Nickelodeon. They obviously need to tell you that this is Nickelodeon. Anyways, why don't we move on to online play? Because I'm already getting two portals. So I'm currently editing right now, and I forgot two major things. The first one being the achievements, as you can see here, and the second one being those extra costumes. I won't go over costume references. There's an entire video by Aaron Nitmar on YouTube, but there are a couple costumes. Those couple costumes being the ones you get, the mind-controlled and Ghost Club brawlers. You do those by beating up the brawlers in the campaigns. You have to do this 3 times. First, to play as them in the campaign. Secondly, to get their mind-controlled costume. And third, to get their Ghost Club costume. Anyways, now for the achievements. I know I don't have all the achievements, but hear me out. Yeah. So the last achievements I don't have are the rest of the arcade achievements. The one with Plankton and the one with PTM. So anyways, what do we have? Well, going in order by which ones I completed first, there's the easiest one, definitely, I Won an Award, where you can just compete in your first local or online battle. You don't even have to win, you just have to play. Then there's Smashing, where you have to defeat an opponent without losing a single stock. It's definitely easy. It says local, so you can literally just play it. You can literally just set the CPU level to 0, and then just set the stamina level to the lowest 5, and then beat them up. Activate the plot device, you have to complete your first campaign run. If you're good enough to beat the first one ever, the straight line, then this one should be easy. Jellyfish fishing is where you have to beat King Jellyfish. That was nuts. It's also really easy. You have to complete a Pop the Slime Balloons minigames. Leo, Shredded, Going Ghost, and this I swear, and Timed Out are all interlinked, along with jellyfish fishing. You just have to beat them in the campaign. Flying Dutchman, Shredder, Vlad Plasmius, Sartana, and Clock. Blimey and no one, basically every single arcade game. Blimey, No Nonsense Avatar. Anything else? Don't you take that tone with me, young man? Uh, Bushido Tactics, World Domination is a hand, and leave everything to me. You just have to complete arcade run. Let me see. No Nonsense Avatar, where you just have to complete one arcade run. Bushido Tactics, you have to do it with 5. World Domination is a hand, clear it with 15. And Leave Everything to Me is where you have to do it with all brawlers. Minus the DLC, obviously, but still. Anyways, Research Complete is sorta easy. You just have to grind it out. You have to level up a campaign perk to its max level. Savior of the World you can unlock by being the campaign story. If you want to get both Timed Out and Savior of the World, I suggest beat the campaign. Then there's Way of the Ninja, where you have to compete in 10 battles. Handsome Style, customize your profile badge. You know, the online banner I showed you earlier. Wicked is kinda easy. You just gotta get good at platform fires. You gotta defeat a level 9 CPU in a 1v1 battle. Not even the contest is a bit harder, however. You have to defeat 3 level 9 CPUs in a team battle. Those 3 CPUs are on one team and you're by yourself. Then there's Say My Name, where you have to play at least once with all standard brawlers in battles. Monstrous Power and Defender of the Earth compete in 50 and 100 local online battles. And, oh yeah, Unleash the Doom! Complete a campaign run on the highest difficulty. Yeah, it's hard. Then there's The Journey is the Destination, man. It's pretty easy, actually. You just gotta upgrade Nora Wakeman's shot to the max. And yeah, that's it. And Brain Blast, you have to complete the Pop the Slime Balloons minigame with all brawlers. It's the same thing as Leave Everything to Me and Say My Name, but this time for Pop the Slime Balloons. Thank God there isn't one for Whackabot. Anyways, yeah, let's just keep going. Aside from battling and campaigns, there's also the online play. You can just connect to the servers, and there's 4 options you can choose from. Ranked plays, which, as you move up the ranks, you'll get better and better, so yeah. Quick plays, where you can either do free-for-alls, 1v1s, or 2v2s. And lobbies. You can search for public lobbies, join private or public lobbies, buy passwords, or create a lobby yourself. You can also edit your online profile. With banners, several of them, frames, several of them, icons, several of them, and medals. These are sort of mini achievements. And yeah, they have very specific criteria. Like this one, oof. Oh man. Oh yeah. If it's Aang in his avatar state for the picture, yeah, it's definitely deserved. There's Ultimate Survivor. How did you do that? Campaign Champion, which is actually quite hard. And Top 100. Despite it having SpongeBob doing karate, which might seem like the most basic thing ever, it's quite hard. You literally have to get good. There's an entire video on it somewhere. I just found it. Anyways, you can also change your menu role. As you can tell, I'm a Zuko main. Anyways, but yeah, that's the online play. Let's go to extras, shall we? This is the extras option. We can view the gallery, listen to music, or just watch the credits. The gallery here has both images and trophies. The images here are just random cuts of gameplay. It's nothing special. The trophies here are all just trophies, of course, but they're not like Smash Bros. Where they have like different descriptions. No, they're just trophies. But you're wondering about the rarities? Well, I don't have all of them, but we're using the boss trophies. So we're just gonna use Shredder because why not? There are bronze trophies, silver trophies, gold trophies, slime trophies, and cosmic trophies. Cosmic trophies are the rarest. I don't have them. I didn't even know they existed up until recording for this video because, well, I took a dig into the files and I found some models for the trophies. The more you know, right? Every character and boss has them, and they're all in different poses. As you can tell by the silver flying Dutchman statue being the thing before he calls a lightning strike, and the slime one where he's defeated. Also, the images, some of them you can unlock by just straight up playing the game, and others you can unlock by beating bosses or beating arcade games with all of the characters. For example, beating an arcade run with Garfield gets you this picture. Garfield movie, anyone? So, anyways, the jukebox is where you can listen to music while your menu brawler from online just dances along to it. I won't play the music, but I'll just give you the dance. That's not even a dance. That's not even a dance. What are you doing? And then, of course, the credits. Sweet, sweet credits. Yeah, you didn't think I noticed. Oh god, I can't skip it. Oh, never mind. Anyways, while we're at it, we'll just talk about news because it's pretty small. It's just where you can view all the latest news. Things like DLC characters and new updates. So anyways, why don't we move on to single player, shall we? They really fleshed out single player with this one. You have an arcade mode, a boss rush mode, mini games, and a dojo. The training mode of this game. Arcade mode is kind of like campaign mode, but it's way smaller. You only have 3 of the 6 difficulties, Tiny but Mighty, Texas Tough, and Masterclass, and an extra Unstoppable Force difficulty, which is the hardest one in the campaign. The same difficulties apply to bosses, where you take on all the bosses in the campaign in one order. King Jellyfish, Flying Dutchman, the Shredder, Sartana de los Muertos, Vlad Plasmius, and Clockwork. I swear it crashes on Switch when I get to like the 5th boss or something. The minigames is where you can play Pop the Sun Balloons or Whack-A-Bot from the campaign. And the dojo is the training mode, or you can just go to how to play. Arcade mode works something like this. Let me just start one as Sponge Boy over here. Let me just start one to illustrate my point. At first you start with just one battle, then you can just choose between 1 or 2, and then it just kind of repeats itself, with the occasional minigame and boss, with the final one ultimately being Vlad Plasmids. Won't go to super detail, but again, it's kind of the same as the arcade mode from the first game, only of course with the extra minigames and bosses. Shall I demonstrate a battle to show you what it's all about? Of course I will. Ow. Get over here. Also, your final score doesn't really matter. You see? You see? That's simple. That's simple. That's simple. Anyways, that's kind of all there is to it, honestly. So yeah, let's just, I guess it's conclusion time. Overall, what do I think about this game? At the end of the day, I'd just give it 8 out of 10, honestly. It's like Smash Bros. It's serviceable enough, but the game has some problems. For example, it's really slow. That shouldn't be a problem for some people, but for me at least, it's a big problem considering how fast Ultimate is, and to some extent Melee, and of course the multiverse of Beta. But then you also have other things, like of course the still abundance of bugs and glitches, like the original game. Unlike the original game, however, it's not as threatening. Sorta. And one last thing, I forgot to mention this, but here are the prices for this game. I won't display them on screen because I know everything. Anyways, regularly this game goes for $50. You can pick up a super edition for 60, I think. I'm sorry. And an ultimate edition for 80. These extra versions give you DLC. The DLC being the costume pack, the season pass, and of course the soundtrack. Somewhat. Anyways, the season pass gets you 4 DLC characters, which so far are Krabs, Zuko, Iroh, and Rocksteady, and the costume pack gives you an extra costume for each character. But yeah, I honestly never knew this video was going to be this short. But I guess thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to the video. That's a definite must. Have a nice day.